7 up to grade
Okay na,
10.
sir!
Faculty members, headed by our faculty president, Teacher Jobert P. Simoy, Louisians, and of course, to our ever dynamic school principal, Dr. Charito T. Alagbay. To formally start our online general parents orientation, I am inviting everyone to pause for a while and take a moment of silence as we have our invocation to be led by Teacher Jobert P. Simoy, and this will be followed by the playing of our Philippine national anthem through multimedia presentation.
Let us pause for a moment of silence. Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God as we say, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today for this virtual meeting. We thank you, O God, for all the blessings and happiness you have bestowed on us. We thank you, Lord, for your generosity and all abounding love. Jesus, we pray that you send your Holy Spirit to guide us in this undertaking. May your divine guidance help us decide correctly in vital things. May we decide about things based on your command. Lord, let us be reminded that all things you do should be according to your will. Allow us to act according to the benefit of all concerned. Allow us to see you in every person we deal with. May the agenda meeting be this, O God, and let all people concerned contribute wisely to come up with solutions according to your will. O God, enlighten all of us to speak and interact with you in our minds. For all these academic activities would only possible with your permission. Make us decide correctly for our students' sake and their parents who trusted us with the task of educating their children. All these we ask and give thanks. In Jesus' name we pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen and amen.
for a while ago. We're having technical issue. I would like to welcome you all for the second virtual General Parents Orientation. School year 2021-2022 is another challenging year to all of us due to the continuous threat of COVID-19, and it even worsened because of Delta and Lambda variants. Most of us felt the effect of this pandemic on its as we are still trying to cope financially to sustain our daily needs. But despite of it, you never gave up their education. You remain committed and supportive to your school children and to their alma mater, St. Louis Academy. With this, our hand salute to you parents. St. Louis Academy Administration, with our faculty and staff, will remain dedicated in this field and will always strive to give the quality beloved instruction online, synchronous or asynchronous, or printed modular. On behalf of St. Louis Academy, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to all of you for trusting your children to us and for giving us the opportunity in keeping SLA's motto alive, educating the minds of tomorrow's nation builders through teaching minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. Once again, welcome to our second General Parents Orientation. Now, allow me to present to you the agenda of today's meeting. First is we have the introduction of academic, non-academic, and administrative personnel, followed by the school calendar of activities. Then we will revisit the PVMGO, the philosophy, vision, mission, goals, and objectives of our school, the enrollment data and the withdrawal of enrollment, modes of payment. We have delivery modes of instruction, to be followed by the discussion of Deputy Order 31, Series of 2020, which is the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, followed by another Deputy Order, which is the discussion of Deputy Memorandum 14, Series of 2021, which is the interim guidelines on the preparation, submission, and checking of school forms. Then we have the ESC guidelines for junior high school, class schedule, and of course, we will end it up with an open forum. So these are the agenda of today's meeting. Now this time, before we will talk and tackle the first agenda, allow me first to set rules and regulations during this web orientation. Now, currently, you are using the Google Meet application. This is one of the platforms that we will be using as we go along with our online classes. Now, let us meet the Google features. As you can see right now, these are the icons that can be seen on your screen. Either you are using your cell phone or your personal computer, or could even be laptop, you will still be seeing these icons. The first one is what we call the muted microphone. So this is the face of the muted microphone, followed by the camera, and this one shows video off. The next icon is what we call present screen. Then we have the end call button, and the last one is we have the chat box. These are very useful, and you should know it's fun. So let's start started knowing its function. Teacher Christian, can you proceed to the next slide? Teacher Christian, mind if you can stop presenting and I'll be the one to control the slide in my end, teacher. Kindly
Excuse me,
stop
teacher.
presenting it
My
and I'll be
end
the one
here
to
is
present
really
in my
so
end.
much.
Okay. So let's get to there you go. So let me for a while, let me just present. Go. Are you seeing it right now, Teacher Christian? Am I presenting the right slide?
Okay, teacher. Please click reading view,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay. There we go. So let's see and let's know deeper the function of the Google Meet features. The first one, this is what we call muted microphone. Now, if you want to be heard during the open forum, please click this icon to unmute yourself. Otherwise, for now, keep it muted to avoid distractions. So those who are turning on their microphone, we're asking you to please keep yourself on mute. Kindly click it, and once you can see this icon, this with the line, horizontal line, you are now muted. The second one is the video off. This will keep your camera off at all times unless you want to be recognized when speaking. So you can turn off your camera, but if you want to be recognized, then you can turn it on during the open forum. Next one is we have the present screen icon. Please take note that this icon is only for the presenter. So please, attendees, if you are not the presenter, meaning to say you don't have anything to share at all to the audience, please, this is strictly prohibited. Do not click this. Otherwise, you will be the one to present your screen. Now, next is what we have, the end call button. If the meeting is already done, then you may click this to leave the meeting. The next one is what we call participants list. So if you would like to check and you wanted to know who are the attendees of this meeting, then you can click this and you can find their names if they are attending. The next one is what we call chat box. You may use this icon if you want to raise questions or suggestions or even comments during the open forum. So like for example, you are not comfortable using your camera when you would like to raise question, so you can use this feature. It's another feature where you can be heard through chatting. So I guess these are the features that we should know. So this time I would like to congratulate everyone for keeping yourselves on mute. So keep it muted until we reach open forum. Okay. So let's have the first agenda is the academic personnel. First, first in line, we have our pre-elementary advisor. It's a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, Technology, and Life Education. Graduated Technological University, Daan, last May 2019. This is her third year in teaching at Peace Academy. Lucian, help me welcome her Geraldine Conde.
Blessed afternoon, Louisians. Blessed afternoon to all of us.
There she. Next one, our grade 1 advisor is a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in General Education, and she graduated with flying colors, cum laude, graduated at Cebu Technological University, the Bantayan campus, last May 2019. Is her third year St. Louis Academy. Teacher Giselle E. Anteligando.
Good afternoon, Lucia.
Hi,
Everyone.
yes. Next one is our grade 3 and grade 4 advisor. Is a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education, graduated at Cebu Normal University, Medellin campus last May 2019. And this is her third year in teaching at St. Louis Academy. We have teacher Japeth S. Lumusbo.
Good afternoon, Lucians, and good afternoon, everyone.
All right. Next is our grade 5 advisor. Is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Technology and Livelihood Education, and minor in Filipino. She graduated University, Daan Bantayan campus, last March 2008. Is her 12th year in teaching at St. Louis Academy. Louisians, help me boy, S.E.H.
Good afternoon, Louisians. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, there she goes. Next, to complete the quintilla of our teaching force and elementary and pre-elementary department is our grade 6 advisor. At the same time, he is our faculty president, a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Technology and Livelihood Education. He also graduated with flying colors, cum laude. Graduated at Cebu Technological University, Daan Bantayan campus, last May 2019. He earned units in vocational education school, so University in campus. Third year in teach St. Louis Academy. T.P. Simon.
Hello, good afternoon, dear Louisians. My hapon.
Sige. All right. Now let's proceed to our junior high school teaching force. To start with, our grade 7A advisor is our academic, is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary in Technology and Livelihood Education and minor in. She graduated at Cebu Technological University on Bantayan campus last March 2008. She earned 18 units in her Master of Arts in Educational Management P.R. Verallo Memorial College Incorporated in Bogos City. Louisians, we have teacher Nila B. at Cuba.
Good afternoon, Louisian, and have a blessed afternoon to everyone.
Okay. Next one, grade 7B advisor. Time, she's our designated guidance counselor, a graduate of secondary education, major in social studies. She graduated at Cebu Technological University, Daan Bantayan campus, last March 1994. And this is her 8th year in teaching at St. Louis Academy. We have teacher Maria Floripes A. Monteliano.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our dear parents. Have a blessed afternoon to all of us. Thank you.
Okay, there she goes. Next one is our grade 8 advisor, a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in mathematics. She also graduated with flying colors, cum laude. Graduated at Cebu Technological University, the Anbantayan campus, last May 2019. And this is her second year teaching in St. Louis Academy. We have Teacher Jodeline V. Conde.
Good afternoon, Louisians. Good afternoon, everyone. So it's very good seeing you all virtually. Thank you.
All right, there she goes. Next, we have our grade 9 advisor, a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Technology and Livelihood Education. Graduated at Cebu Technological University, the Anbantayan campus, last May 2019. And this is her second year teaching at St. Louis Academy. Since we have teacher Janeline L. Talar.
Hi, Louisians. Good afternoon.
Okay, there she goes. Next, we have our grade 10 advisor is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. She graduated at Cebu Normal University, Medellin campus, last May 2019. Tuitions, help me welcome Teacher Karen M. Cañete.
Hi, good afternoon, Louisians, especially to our dear parents.
Okay. And the last one to complete the plantilla of our teaching force in our junior high school department is our ICT coordinator. At the same time, our overall program and planning coordinator, the graduate of Science in Information, graduated at Cebu Roosevelt Memorial Colleges.
Hi. Hello.
Bugos City,
Hello.
last March 13. He earned units in professional Louisians. Help me welcome Teacher Christian A. Orsabia.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back to the
John, are you
virtual
there?
learning environment. Have a good day. Thank you. Sure. Do you hear me?
All right. There he goes. Okay,
Hello, sir. Do you hear
this
me?
time. Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Hello, Louisians. Welcome.
I do, Teacher Christian, I do. Okay. All right. Now this time, let's move on to our non-academic personnel. You will be the one whom you'll see every time you will visit school if you need to transact your business. Next line, we have our cashier registrar in our dato. And we have our school guards. Same time, there are utility who are maintaining the cleanliness of our campus. First, we have Mr. Helbert Y. Galange, school guard. We have Dovenzen A. Manzanares, our second guard. And we have Mr. Dennis M. Rosell, our third guard. And this time, let's move on to our administrative personnel. First in line is our school director. He is a highly skilled professional. He is the man behind the structuring and the restructuring of St. Louis Academy. One of the sample is the facade of our building. He is the man behind it. Let's welcome Mr. Benjamin C. Alagba. Next is our school principal. He is a graduate of Bachelor in Secondary Education, Sure, in general science, normal universe last March 2000. And on that, she took the licensure for teacher. She was once a secretary of Cebu Division Private School. She also took her Master of Arts in Education, Administrative Supervision, 2009 at Manto Memorial Foundation College in Canal City. Presently, she is a member of the Checking Committee for Government and Teachers in Private Education, or what we call GASP for entire region. Currently, she's supervising 3 schools, one in Liloan, a school consultant. The other one is St. Louis Academy Compostela branch, the main branch, as school principal. And of course, the third one is our very own St. Louis Academy Daan Bantayan campus as school principal. She's been managing private schools for 18 years now. So di na to i-compile ang edad because she looks too young. All right? A researcher and a designer of her own program. A full-fledged doctor in development education at Cebu Technological University, Canal campus, last March 2019. Faculty members, parents, Louisians, help me welcome Dr. Charito T. Alagbay.
Thank you, Teacher Lucille. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, there she goes. And the last one is yours truly, the assistant school principal, a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education at University of Cebu main campus last March 2002. And on that same year, I took and passed the licensure examination for teacher. I earned units in my Montessori education course at University of San Carlos. I earned units as well in my Master of Arts in Education, made in Administration and Supervision at Cebu Technological University, Daan Bantayan campus. So those are our academic and non-academic personnel. Okay, now this time, let us now proceed to the next agenda, which is the discussion of our school calendar of activities for school year 2021 to 2022. Help me welcome our overall program and plan coordinator, teacher Christian A. Orsabia.
Hello everyone, thank you so much Teacher Lucille. Do you hear me? Teacher Lucille, do you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you so much, Legion. Sir, okay. It is my honor to present to you the school calendar of activities for the school year 2021 to 2022. Please be guided accordingly in the following schedules. You may do the screen capture for your reference. Thank you. Teacher Lucille? Teacher Lucille, can you move to the next slide?
Would you like to be the one to present and control the slides, teacher, since you will be the one to discuss it? So I can stop presenting now.
Okay, sure. No worries. Okay, so this time, for the month of August, so we have it here, as we do this on this day, August 23, the General Parents and ESE Recipients Webinar Orientation. And this is to be done in the afternoon by the junior high school students and parents. On August 24 to 25, still the same, that's the webinar for the instructional platform, especially to those new transferees and even the old students. On August 26 to 27, we have the conference and the final schedule, dry run with the class advisory. And we will have to proceed to September. On the month of September, we have it here. On September 1, the virtual acquaintance with the class advisor, and September 2 and 3 will be the subject teachers. On September 6 will be the official start of the teaching, learning activities. And in the month of October, we will start our first quarter examination on October 25, 26, 27, 28. That is our first grading examination. On November, we have this. On December, we also have our second quarter in December will start on December 13 to 16, 2021. In the month of January and the February, we will start our third quarter examination in February 2022, February 21 to 24. In the month of March and April, we will end our proposed end of school year on April 30, 2022. But before we'll have to end on April 30, we have it here, our fourth quarter examination, the final grading on April 16 to 21, 2022. And our proposed virtual completion, graduation, and recognition rights will be on April 30. It is the subject to change with prior notice, as we will be depending upon the recommendation or the go signal come from the regional office, either to upload on the specific date or in the other date after checking the school form that will be discussed later on. And it is the total number of school days, including the pre-service of teachers, is 209. The total number of class days is 209. This is based on the school days from DepEd Order number 29 series of 2021. So we have 209 school days throughout the school year. It is already approved by our school principal, Dr. Charito T. Aragbay. And this is the breakdown of the number of school days within the school year from school days. And if you weren't able to read our post in the official Facebook page, please be guided the following schedule. It is very clear. You may do the screen capture 23 this morning and afternoon. Tomorrow will be from the nursery, pre-kinder, kinder, grade 1 to grade 6, tomorrow morning. And we have on tomorrow afternoon will be for the junior high school with their parents, guardians, or representative, especially to those new enrollees and transferees. On 25, again, I will specify that on August 24, that is only for the new enrollees and transferees. And for August 25, that will be for the old and new enrollees, so that those new students will be able to know and navigate the different features using the Google Meet. And also navigating the Google Classroom using the Messenger and any other instructional platforms. On August 27, that will be the dry run with the students together with their class advisor. The class advisor will be the one to provide their own Google Meet link. Just wait for the link to be submitted by the advisor to your respective sons and daughters. And on September 1, that will be for the morning session and the afternoon session still with the class advisor. And on September 2 is with the subject teachers. The class advisor will be sending you the schedule of their class. On September 6, we will start our official class of the learning and teaching activities. And on September 7, and every Tuesday of the week, that is the distribution of the printed modules, especially to those students who chose the modular modality, the module. You will have your first distribution on September 7, especially to those who enrolled in modular modality. Okay, that's all for my school calendar of activities. And also, if you want to be notified as Luisian, please also use our official Facebook frame. At you see it in our Facebook profile. That's the St. Louis Academy official frame. Thank you so much, and I'll be going to give it back to Teacher Lucille LDS. Teacher Lucille.
Thank you so much, Teacher Christian or Sabia, for the quick presentation. So you may continue the presentation, teacher. All right, so there we go. Before I talk about the philosophy, the PVMGO of school, I would like to add some important points. I would like to give emphasis on August 24, wherein you consider to schedule for the new enrollees and for the transferees, wherein you'll be attending the webinar for the instructional platform twice. Why? Because we are giving you a lot of time to navigate, as well to coordinate with Teacher Christian if you will be needing assistance for you to be able to get into our online. And we also got to insert the pulong. We were used to that last year, but it was not added in our school calendar of activities. But that will be probably around second week page if there would be any changes with the schedule. So once again, thank you so much. I hope you captured the screens for your reference. So this time, let us revisit and review our roadmap, the PVMGO, the philosophy, the vision, the mission, the goals, and the objectives of St. Louis Academy, which provide focal point that helps to align everyone in the institution. So we have Teacher Christian, philosophy. Kindly flash the philosophy, Teacher Christian.
It's already presented to Lucille.
Okay, there we go. Philosophy. St. Louis Academy Incorporated is an educational institution that firmly believes that teachers as designers, facilitators, and assessors of the learning of the learners have an essential role in the holistic development of the learners to become 21st century learners with the use of technology, competence, and skills that are K-12 standards-based curriculum. Next, we have our vision. St. Louis Academy Incorporated envisions itself as an instrument for the holistic development of all the learners through the use of engaging technologies in collaborative, inquiry-based learning environment with teachers as designers, assessors, and facilitators who are willing and able to use technology's power to guide the learners in transforming knowledge and skills into products, solutions, and new information to make the learners become God-loving, patriotic, adaptive, competitive, and competent graduates, which enable them to contribute meaningfully to build a better nation. And let's have our mission. St. Louis Academy Incorporated commits itself to letter A, develop the learners with 21st century skills to make them globally competitive and functionally literate learners. Letter B, develop students' respect, self-confidence, self-reliance, cooperation, and tolerance of others' misfits by becoming aware of these potentials for a positive change. And lastly, to develop the learners holistically through a strong foundation for lifelong learning and self-actualization needs for active citizenship of the nation and global milieu. This time, we have the goals. St. Louis Academy Incorporated aims to enhance learners' 21st century skills in order to transform them holistically that would lead them to the best and strongest foundation in all learning areas that are aligned with the K-12 standards and competencies. St. Louis Academy Incorporated aims to mold the character of the learners to become God-loving, patriotic, values-oriented, and globally competitive through 21st century skills such as collaboration, communication, computer or ICT literacy, critical thinking, cross-cultural understanding, creativity, and career and lifelong learning. And the last one are the objectives. First one is we have to enhance communication skills, logical reasoning, problem solving, and critical thinking skills to prepare them to become God-loving, patriotic, values-oriented, globally competitive, and lifelong learners. Second is to produce 21st century learners who are God-loving, patriotic, values-oriented, globally competitive, and well-rounded individual. Third one is to provide quality education that is based on K-12 standards and competencies. Fourth one, to provide instructions, activities, and assessments that are gender-based sensitive, ethnicity-based, and just to ensure equal opportunities to all the learners. And lastly, is to aid the learners in the acquisition of the 21st century skills to make them constructors of knowledge and critical thinkers and problem solvers. So if you are going to recall, and you will notice that in our PVMGO statements, the common word there is 21st century learners. That's why during the delivery of the instructions, through their assessment, activities, assignments, it's more on performance tasks, it's more on research-based, because this is the way we train and teach them to acquire the 21st century skills. And what are these skills? We have communication skills, critical thinking, technology literate, problem solving, for them to become constructors of knowledge on their own. And if they have this, they will become lifelong learners. So mga kaalam na di makalimutan hangtod sa hangtod. Alright, so that's our PVMGO of St. Louis Academy. So this time, I am very excited to showcase to you the enrollment data, and this will be discussed by our very own resource speaker, no other than our school principal, Dr. Charito T. Alabay.
Thank you very much, Teacher Lucille. Teacher Christian, would you mind to start presenting because I'll present mine? Thank you, Teacher Christian.
Sure, Dom. Sure.
Okay, now there you go, as you can see on your screen. Now, every time we have the web orientation, even before, when the on-ground orientation was still allowed, because it was not yet pandemic here, I am always very excited, not just only me, but even the rest of the teachers and even your parents. Because during the web orientation, we would be able to share the system, the rules and regulations on how we govern St. Louis Academy that make us very still amidst pandemic here. In reality, in an educational sector like us, it is not really easy on our part this time. It took us a very long with all the efforts thinking on how we can increase, if not increase, maintain the population. Let me show you and share with you our enrollment data for the past 3 years. This is tabulated. Now we compare from 2019, 2020, last school year when we started, when we were all devastated because of the pandemic, 2020, 2021, and up to the second cycle of the pandemic year, as you can see on the table. Last 2019-2020, our pre-elementary has reached to 65. So we have a total of 411. Before the pandemic, we were expecting that for this year, beginning last year, we could have like more than 500, which is a very good indicator that will tell to the whole community that there you go. St. Louis Academy has really met the expectation of the parents and of the students, and that is because of the teachers and the administrative personnel. This is a big credit to all of the teachers, faculty members, and administrative personnel. And I would like also to give our hand salute and our thanks to the parents for continuous support to the institution, for continue sending your children to us. Kaya ang pagkatinuod, without you, we don't have this kind of orientation because we are no longer operational. But because of your trust and confidence to continue sending your children to us as Louisians, we continue to give our service to the community and to be your partners in attaining quality education. As you can see here, there was a big decline, a downfall of our enrollment last school year. But despite that decline, we were able to sustain. And this 2021-2022, I am very happy to announce to you that we increased our population last school year when we had 370. But this time, we have a total, a partial. Why is it partial? Because just this morning, there were still parents who enroll in elementary department, elementary, pre-elementary, and even some queries on the secondary course. So a big congratulations, Louisians, congratulations to all of us. Every time we present the enrollment data, we are all excited. Why? As what I mentioned, this is the best success indicator that we have successfully delivered the instruction last school year amidst shifting of another modality which is new to everybody, which is the distance education. When we program, when we design everything, what we could do best and we can give best to our learners. We started with zero base. Why zero? Because this is just, it was our first year. When we shifted, when we used distance education, yet everything was seamless. And congratulations to all of us. In fact, this is a very good Very good proof to all of you that will justify how adept, skillful are the parents right now because you are all skillful in terms of using the different platforms of communication. Unlike before, we keep on calling the attention of the parents, we keep on removing, if not removing, keep them on mute because they always unmute themselves. But this time, congratulations to all of you. Okay, next is we'll have our part of this enrollment data even before the on-ground orientation. I used to present all the policies, the rules and regulations, the protocols of St. Louis Academy. But there are some, most of are no longer applicable because we are in a distance education. So we will not talk about the gadget policy, we will not talk about these things, about the school service and all, because there is no face-to-face. But there is one very important stipulation in the school manual which I include right now, and withdrawal of enrollment. How important is this? Very important because we don't want to hide anything from you. Ano niingon mo ko we don't want to hide? So that you would know what would be the policy of the school if after 1 week you would decide because you realize that St. Louis Academy is not the right environment nor your right partner to achieve the quality instruction, to give what is the thing that you want to give to your children in the future. If you think that we are not the one, so you are very much free and welcome. Why? Because we will never force anyone who would not be happy staying with us. Kaya ang tinuod ba ya, even us personally, if we really don't want to do things that we are just only forced to do that something, when we start with a big regret, nagmahay nagalit ka, you will never become happy. And that will never become a success to you. But it would always be a failure. So muna gitagaan to mag-withdrawal at enrollment. For the information of all, na for this first week, beginning today, this is not yet considered as the first week of class. So wala pa nilabot because we are still on the web orientation week. But when will be the beginning of the first day of the withdrawal of enrollment, if you will, as the first counted day for this first week, kanas aman to, as what mentioned by Teacher Christian, that will begin on the September 6th. That will begin again on September 6th. That would be on the first week after Thursday, Friday, September 1, 2, 3, 4, Monday, diha na. So after all, you'll realize, so what will you do? On the first week of class, because even before face-to-face was allowed, we will always allow parents to be with us. Take note, ha? What do you mean by to be with us? To observe classes physically when the time when face-to-face was allowed. Why? Because we want the parents themselves to observe on how we go through on delivering the instruction to your children to aid them, to guide them to become lifelong learners. Kung di mo ganahan, so you have all the freedom to withdraw and you will only be charged 20% of the total school year fees. Klaro na siya. But if to you, 1 week would not be enough. But you need an extension 1 week to observe. Okay, second week, 40% of the total school year fees. Third week is 60% of the total school year fees. And after 1 month, that would mean, fourth week man, o sa kabuwan, that would mean 100%. Muna siyang bayanan. That's why we discussed this, so that at the end of the week, when you will realize this is not the right school, this is not the right environment, then go and find the place where you will find success and happiness. Okay? So clear na siya ha? This is stipulation in a different order. Now our next is the mode of payment. This is not new to those parents who are with us since last school year when we started this distance education. We have this, could be GCash, could be Land Bank, could also be through BDO. And for the details of the bank, All you have to do is to just send a private message to Miss Tin, the school cashier with transfer, or to teacher Lucille, so that you'll be given the bank details. And the other one, the other way, which is very common, is over the counter. And you should have to look for the registrar or a school cashier. So that's all for the enrollment data and withdrawal of enrollment. Now, this time, many of you ask during the enrollment phase, there were many of you questioned, is face-to-face allowed this time? Is there a face-to-face for that school year? Now, this is the answer no. Now, face-to-face, that was last school year when we started the distance education. It was said by our president, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, that face-to-face will be allowed if vaccine would be available. Now the question is vaccine available this time? The answer is yes. But the next question is, are you already vaccinated? The answer is, I don't know with you. Let's just keep it private because we will have to respect your decision. Okay, this is it. Now, but there is an issuance of another legal basis for that as to the face-to-face classes. And it was issued last this no that was last that's just July this year, July 2021, through DepEd Order number 29 series of 2020. What does it say? The DepEd Order says number 4, take a look at number 4, the highlighted number, and the statement that the conduct of face-to-face classes, whether in partial, what do you mean by partial? Meaning, katong gitawag nato og limited face-to-face or full-scale will not be allowed unless permitted by the office of the president. And what did the president say? Repeatedly say, because he repeatedly said it, that there will be no face-to-face classes. Despite the fact, St. Louis Academy never gave up. We never stop until we could offer another through distance education modality, which is the online distance learning. Now, what is online? At first, this was new to all, but this time, to the parents who were with us beginning last school year, this is not new to you. And to those who are transferees might be new to you because I know in the public schools that most of the teachers, students, and parents, if not all of them, because I did not hear that maybe few only in the public opted for online, but most of them, like 90 to 95%, opted the printed modular modality. Now all they have to do is just to prepare, if you have the Android smartphone or the laptop or the desktop, then you can have the online distance learning. But in an online distance learning, there are two types. Duha na kaklase ang online distance learning. One is the synchronous online, and the other one is the asynchronous online or the async online. Kasi kalainan sa duha, as you can see on your screen. Now, the synchronous online is the one that we are doing right now. That you see me moving, you hear what I am talking to you, whatever is on the screen. That is what are the things that I am delivering to you. Now, there is an interaction because this is interactive, meaning to say, during the question and answer portion, you may unmute yourself because you can do it. Then we will see each other virtually via camera. Then we will have to interact with each other. You may ask me questions directly, and I'll answer you directly. That is interactive and live discussion. This is what we are doing right now. So if I am your teacher and you are my students, you learn many things, even through distance online synchronous education, because you will also see what I am presenting. You will also hear me. You will also see when I am moving. So it's really live and interactive. And the other one, this is fixed schedule. What is fixed? When the schedule, we will be presenting schedule class program later on. When the schedule is Monday and Wednesday, for instance, morning session from 8:30 to 11:30, you don't have other way to change or to choose your own schedule. So, dili mo pwede ka pili, ha? Because it is fixed. So, kami magbuot ni ana. But this synchronous online, take note of this is very important. The synchronous online is only intended to students who have very strong or stable internet connectivity. Klaro na nun? Stable internet connectivity ka ng digid mawagtang-wagtang. Because the moment that your internet connectivity is unstable, you cannot appreciate the distance online education synchronous type because the teacher would be very choppy and the teacher sound like a robot. So, di na masabtan sa mga bata. Even if, for example, I have a very strong internet connectivity right now, but believe me, not all of you are listening and getting what I am telling you right now as fast as others do. Nga naman, pwedeng on your end, you have unstable internet connectivity. But if I have unstable internet connectivity, everybody will suffer because I am the host. Diba? So, klaro na. But karon, let me ask one sample. Teacher Lucille, how do you find me right now? Am I very clear?
Yes, now I'm very clear.
So, meaning to say, I have a stable internet connectivity. But those who did because I am not in the Anbantayan right now. Well, Teacher Lucille is in the Anbantayan, while I am in Compostela working from home because of the internet connectivity. Well, for the asynchronous online, kalainan na, asynchronous for both online, ang asynchronous online, non-interactive. So meaning to say, the moment that you will have strong internet connectivity, that would be the time that when you'll be checking the Gmail, because teachers might send it through Gmail, the recorded videos, or via YouTube channel, or it could be via Yahoo Mail or via Messenger. But what's the difference? When there is a question, that's it, huh? It differs to each other because what's the difference there is when there is a question from you, now the teacher cannot answer you right away because it's interactive. So all sent activities or recorded videos like this time when this is recorded and after my task I have to send this to you. You can check it from time when you have stable internet connectivity. Pwede ka rin PA, pwede ugma na lang, so mo na siya not interrupted. And this is a flexible schedule because anytime you can check it. So mo na nakalainan, ana. So again, kung kato mag-synchronous, make sure that you have a very stable internet connectivity. Otherwise, do not opt that. Now, if you don't have this internet connection, so wala yun, zero, no landline, wala siya kami. So, what is the solution to that? We have the offline distance learning. What is it? It could be in the form of cellular phones without internet connectivity or internet connection. Basta naalala, makatawag na. And I know that some of you have already experienced this, even in our daily lives. We will have to ask somebody or someone when we have a transaction, we sometimes use phone. But even during our conversation using phone, we will still understand each other. So when we understand each other, when there is understanding, there is learning. Even it could also be through text messages or messenger, kana kung free ang inyong mobile data. So appeal sa to siya sa atong itong async, offline distance learning at the same time, mga text messages. Now still if you don't have phone, because really wanted to get a copy, gusto na dyan ka makapapupya. Because you really wanted to read everything and imong anak, visual learner, gusto nyo na masama. So what is it? We also had the modular distance learning. Natin ito of digital module. What is digital module? Still again, from the word itself, digital, using technology, using different platforms, Messenger, Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Skype, or any other platform. But as was mentioned by Teacher Christian and Teacher Lucille when they presented the school calendar, that on September 7 would be the beginning or the first day when we will distribute the learning modules or the hard packets. So So what are those hard copies? Kanang printed or photocopied materials. Now for this, every Tuesday of the week for that, intended for that week, for the current week, mo na kinuha sa printed module. Through pick-up system and drop box when they will have to return the answered module. Now, I just have to emphasize, kanus aman iuli ang answered module. So for this September 2nd, that would be the first time for that week. So the following Tuesday, so that would be September 14, expectedly, you'll be doing 2 tasks at a time. Ang first task mo to get the learning module intended for that week. And the second task is to drop off or to drop in the box the answered modules or the printed copies katong gikuha nimo last week. So mag-usa na siya, and that is the printed module. Klaro na siya, okay? Now, for the information of all, everybody knows this. Those who opted for online, you don't need to think of that. Na ba ni bayad ang module? Eh di mo kinahanglan. Why? Because the teachers will be sending all the instructional materials via Google Classroom or via Gmail or via Messenger, whichever platform that you are accessible to, interested to use, or used to use. So there's no question about that. But for the printed module, especially those who are coming from the public school, ako ni karon ha, and even Ms. Tien emphasized this every time you will enroll. This is not for free, unlike in the public schools, because we don't have budget for that. You are not paying for the modules. But this costs 1 peso per page. 1 peso na good. Unlike others, when you will have the photocopy, those kina siya ang clear copy. But the intention of St. Louis Academy is to continue its delivering quality instruction amidst COVID. That's why we also added the service, but not too much. Because everything too much would lead to nothing. Basta hindi na tama ka, sustain. Okay, what naman siya? So, di siya pwede. Okay? So, ang printed module is 1 peso. But those are opting for online modality or could be asynchronous, di mo magproblema na. Because everything is all for free, may free mo na ang pag-send kung mga like instructional materials. Clear? Okay, next. There is also introduced by the Department of Education the TV radio-based instruction. But unfortunately, based on our experience last school year, we are not using this. But we could encourage, and so you with you parents, you can encourage your children to watch TV programs that are educational programs that are for free, like in GNA, we have allocated time for this, for the educational programs or TV series. There's also in the radio, like DYHP, they also have free access, and it will also help. But to us, we are not really using this because we are more on the research-based and teacher-based learning instructional materials. So that's all for this, because for the blended learning, sad to say, face-to-face still not allowed. So we'll go on for the online, modular, and TV radio-based depending on the availability of the students, because this is only for their enhancement. So if you have questions about the modular modalities, feel free to reserve your questions. Feel free to chat us using the chat box, because reserved questions will be entertained during the question and answer portion. Now, let's proceed to DepEd Order number 31, Series of 2020, ang pangutanan. What do we have to include this? What is DepEd Order number 31, Series of 2020? Now, again and again, this is not new to us. Whether you are a transferee, whether you are a new enrollee, a parent of new enrollee, whether you are old enrollees, when you were with us since the beginning, when the pandemic year is already there, this was issued 2020 by the Department of Education. In fact, last school year, I immediately called for a meeting. Why immediately called for a meeting? Because this was issued last October. And after that, I need to discuss it with the parents. So DepEd Order 31 is the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. What is interim? Now, interim is temporary. That is not permanent. Why is it interim? Because this is just only for the pandemic year. The moment that face-to-face will be allowed, then we will have to go back to Deep Ed Order number 8, series of 2015. This is 31 series of 2020. Now what is assessment? Assessment is the way and a basis for the computation of your children's grades. Klaro ito nga, mo nagabasihanan sa mga maestra sa pag-compute sa grado sa inyong mga anak. Because take note, the teachers never made grades. Wag na lang mabuhata. We will never fabricate, manufacture, or make, but we only compute the grades of your children depending on their deposited grades and figures. Kung pila ilang i-deposit every time there is an examination, every time there is a performance test, moro po ito i-compute sa mga maestra. But we will never fabricate. Klaro na siya. Mo ng assessment, grado, kung giunsa pag-grado ang mga bata. Now let's proceed here. Okay, are we all included here? So legal grades, as you can see there. Two, public and private school heads, and we belong to private institutions. Now let me present this part, very important. It's letter C stipulation, and it says, parents and guardians. The Department of Education aims to develop independent learners who can study and work on the assessments on their own. So meaning, before the pandemic, the Department of Education and even St. Louis Academy, we want always to ensure that whatever is the output of the students, then we have to ensure that that is really their own work. If you remember, even during the project making, we never asked the learners, we never asked your children, and it never happened when face-to-face was still allowed, that we let them bring projects at home. But there were really days for the project making. Why? Because we want to see that they are doing their own output. But this time, because of a big shift all over the world, not just us, but all over the world. Thus, only when necessary, naging stipulation din na, parents, guardians are requested to assist in the assessment process by, number one, so what would be your big roles? Kasi may buhaton. If we will say assist lagi mo, tabang lagi ka. So when we'll have to, you will only have to question, the secondary naman ta, di ang elementary pre-element. O anak, how's your day in school? Are there problems? Are there challenges that you encounter? Or are there difficulties that you encounter? May nga ginangaman na misod ko anay math. Let me see, anak. Because you're also good in math. Because you are an engineer, for example, si Papa, ani assist. Then after all, how are you going to assist? When you assist, it will take a long process. So you have to explain to your son, daughter, step-by-step process. The first process is you will have to do this. But when you will have to teach your child by giving the answer, that's not assistance, that is replacement. Meaning, you replace using yourself on behalf of your child to answer all because you don't want the procedure. And where is the lifelong learning there? So a question is, there's question. Madam, how sure you are and how sure are the teachers that the students are the one making the work? The answer is, we are not pretty much sure. We are not definitely sure. We are not absolutely sure. Nga naman, because we are not monitoring you at home. But what we could only give you, kung sabi yung mahatag ninyo, is the big letter T that stands for trust, na nisalig ninyo, nag-i-assist na ginayon yung mga anak. And the big letter C that stands for confidence, that we're very much confident that we understand each other. That we are responsible to train them, to aid them, to guide them, but not to do things which supposedly done by them. Di ba? So di ba natin responsibility? And who would suffer and sacrifice in the end? Ako? Kamu? We are already successful parents. But your children, because the moment that you will leave them they could no longer stand by themselves alone by their own feet. Nga naman, you train them to become very dependent on you. Asa may lifelong learning, ana. So, kamo, di ko mag-learn. So, what is the point here is, when we assist, we only assist. We don't make things that must be done by your children, by our learners, by the students. So, klaro na inaingon man siya. Pero how are you going to assist if you don't also understand? There, letter I, stipulation. Communicating with the teacher to give updates on their children's or child's situation. For example, teacher Christian handling science because teacher is a science teacher. Teacher, my son or daughter opens me something. I-share man siya, teacher, o nga, mag-lisod siya sa imong subject. So that is a part and a way of giving an assistance to your son, daughter, if you also don't know. So meaning, we will change communicating, but constant communication will do. So what does it mean? That you will not wait until the teacher concerned or teachers concerned will call you. He have the voice and he have the authority to reach the teachers and even the administration and open up all the challenges and the problems and issues and concerns. Why? Because we aim to develop 21st century learners. Diba? And others as well, the best, guiding their children in accomplishing the assessment task. So, klaro na others reacted. Oh, I heard nga ang bata was assisted by the mother. And take a look at that. Instead that my son will become this and that, first in rank, second. Excuse me, this time during pandemic year, I want everybody to move forward and forget about competition. There is no way for us to compete, but there is always for us to collaborate and cooperate with each other in order to become the aid, the tool and the agent to deliver quality instruction. So meaning, kasi pasabot, as parents kita, we are partners to deliver quality instruction. We are partners to produce quality learners. And we have mutual responsibility, we have shared responsibility, and we have complementarity roles, pareha ka role ani sa pandemic year. So meaning, matinabangay kita. Because others, napag-style ha, uban, kani mo, ari ko dali sa assessment, what kind of, kani, unsa nga assessment, thereof, students learning portfolio, the performance task, naagi na din na performance task. But what happens sometimes, parents are reacting. Teacher, we found it out that your performance task is very difficult. Because what do the parents want? Is to give their children a rote memorization or what we call a knowledge type. Kung sa mga knowledge type, mao gani sa una, lisura, Jesus, digdig ka na because it's more on composition, it's more on understanding, it's more on interpreting, it's more on creating, it's more on evaluating. These are all critical thinking skills. Now, karon mamutana ko. If the science teacher will only study the different parts of the circulatory system and memorize each function. Karon di pa memorize? I-memorize mo ba yan? Now, question is that a lifelong learning? That is not a lifelong learning. But what is a lifelong learning when we talk about circulatory system? The learning on how the students will take good care of the circulatory system and each part of the circulatory so that when they get old and even after many years, still, they could still remember what they are doing because they are asked to make like the plans on how to take good care or the activities that the students are usually doing or eating even. So that's part of the diet. That's part of the life activity of our children. Lisod bitaw na mabuhat ka o plano. And it would be easier, more easier if you will ask them to memorize. Pero ang St. Louis does not only target to sharpen the memory of the children, because rote, R-O-T-E, rote memorization, kanang pure memorization is just only temporary. Di mo na lisod-lisod ginamong ihatag. But in the end, if you notice, they already become critical thinkers, problem solvers, constructors of their own, because they are used to do that. When we ask them to report, there is an interaction, there is brainstorming, because that is really the reality sa kinabuhi. When you want to learn for a good job, you must have a good oral communication skills. If you don't have, so you would be fall behind. Mataga ka good. Okay, going back, karon. Kung saan pag-complete sa maestra. Okay, this is it. I have to show this to you. Okay. Now before, when we discussed detailed order number 8, before pandemic year has started, there were 3 components. What are these? Written works, performance task, and quarterly assessment for the periodical examination. But last time, they lessened the 2 components, written works and the performance task. Kasi pasabot, ang kaning languages, that includes mother tongue for elementary 1, 2, 3, but we don't have mother tongue for secondary. This includes English and Filipino, Araling Palipunan, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, as you can see here. The written works weighs 40%. The performance task weighs 60%. That's for the 3 subject learning areas. Well, science and math, it's equal, 50-50. Well, MOPE, EPPTLE, 30 written work, 70 performance task, because this is more on hands-on. Now, let me just give you example of written works. Most of the quizzes could be daily, could be weekly, the unit test that was quarterly assessment before are classified as written works. So these are all classified as written work. But for the performance task, the moment that your children, your son, daughter are asked to record a video of themselves, those who are opting for online modality, so they will have video recording, then they will have to cook, then they will have to recite a poem, then after reciting, explain the poem, then they will have to do the vlog or whatsoever, the TikTok related to the topic. So these are classified as performance tasks. Klaro na siya, no? Monong performance task. Every time they will do experimentation, every time they will compose something, they will create something like their own plan, their own research work, then after that, the term paper, the reaction paper. These are all performance tasks. Those are examples. Now, how are the teachers complete the grade? Ipakita na. Example for written works. There are 4 examinations, written exam. So all you have to do is, next slide here, these are the raw. Now, the highest possible score is the perfect score. Now, these scores here are what we call raw, meaning hilaw pa, dili pa na siya mao. So when the teacher will get the total, all the teacher will do is to add the 4 raw scores to get the total. The total divided by the highest possible score times 100 is equal to, unsay mo result? Written, the add 77, 59. So ang next niya is you will see 77 divided by 85. Asan na hikmang ang 85? Tara, ipakita na ko balik ha. Okay, there you go. 85 is the highest possible total score. 77 ang score sa bata. So, 77 divided by 85 times 100 is the percentage score. Anong percentage man na? Dari sa performance task. 59 divided by 75 times 100 is also the percentage score, because you still need to multiply it by the weight of the component. Diba? Ang sa ng weight of the component, ipakita dito po ninyo para hindi na buhat na i-complete din na siya. O there you go. Diba? 40% and 60%. So we have to check kung sakto bigyan what's by extra. So there you go. See? So that 90.58 times 40% is equal to the weighted score, 36.26. 78.66 times 60% is 47.19. Obviously, you will have to get the total of the weighted score. Imo nang i-add. So when you will add the two weighted score, the answer is 83.45 in white color. So 83. Now the question is, will it reflect to the report card or Form 9 of the learner of your children's grade, ha? Tara na sa report card na Form 9 na karon, Form 10 na permanent record na Form 137 na sa una. Will it reflect? The answer is no. Because what will reflect is the transmuted grade. Let me share something. Based on personal experience, there are parents who question, "Di mo na? Sus, ang simple is the cookie graduate na di mo ko kakita na mo na graduhan." So I invited the parents to the office because at the time face-to-face was still allowed. Then we started discussion. Then the parent complained, "Ano mo po, madam, ang grade sa akong anak sa English is 83 in the report card. But I don't see na murag, di ba siya 83?" So I started to discuss and I showed to the parent the transmutation table. So what is the grade of your son, madam? 83. So that 83, madam, if that is the initial, kaning initial mo siya, kaning 83.45, di-transmute naman ng 85. So what is initial? Original na grado sa bata. So tanaw na to. Pila man the initial niya before the transmuted grade. 83 ko nun. Pila grado sa bata? 72.80 to 74.39. That is the interval. So maybe the grade of the child could be 72.80, could be 72.9, could be 73. So if that is not transmuted, pasad hagbong na. Because what is the passing rating according to the Department of Education? 75 ka na sa unang panahon pa na nato. If you remember, when that is 72, is a color, red color. It is very discriminating. But last time, it is already discouraged. It is already a big no-no. Wala na siya. So, karon na yun ang different. The Department of Education believes that the grades of the children do not define one's success nor one's future. And sometimes students will be inspired and motivated. Ano ba yan eh? Teacher Christian, please control Teacher Christian. Thank you, Teacher Christian. And this is the reality. When the students get good grades, when they are recognized, they will be inspired more and more. You know what? Muna nakita na sa Department of Education, in order to help the students and to motivate them, then we will have to transmute. Because grades do not define one's success. You know, I know that you have also many classmates who graduated with flying colors, who were awarded as with honors, with high, or academic achievers, but after all, in the end, they are not successful. That's the reality. And because of that, the DepEd says it transmutes to inspire everybody. So what happened is, ang grado sa bata nga 72 ang makita sa card na 83 din. So that grade 85 originally ang grado 76 kan. So when I explained to the parent apologized. Madam, sorry kay madam. Because what's the problem? During the orientation, on-ground orientation pa man before, the parent failed to attend the orientation. So mo na kung taga-agrado 83 is, di mo na alam mo, dako agrado niya. Taga-agrado nga 86 na 77 originally. Kaya sa man there is a transmitted grade. And we could not question about transmitted grade because that is DepEd order. We cannot deviate DepEd order because we are under the umbrella of the Department of Education. So pasal din na siya. So what is the passing according to the government? 75. Tanawang transmitted. Pero initial, say sinunta ka na. So if the grade of the child is 75, originally, sa isinta na yung grado or 61 point something. See? So that is for the grade. That is how the teachers compute the grades. Not the teachers make buhat na what buhat. No, we don't make. We compute. So this is really the real thing the teachers do. That's the reason why, sorry to use this one, nasa una, ginugdanay nung una mo sa mga estudyante. Through virtual approach. Isa ng virtual. Messenger nga, madam, please let your child submit on this. Because we could not compute the final grade without the assessment of your children. Kung di na limpoy, and others are giving up. Miingon nga, di na mi ana, give up na mi, bahala na lang kong anak. Or take note, if you will give up, then who would dare not to give up? Kami, we will never give up. In fact, the teachers are always reaching your children. We even did the home visitation. Many times, even if sometimes they were not entertained. Why? Because we aim to help the learners. Pero usahay, unfortunately, ang ginikanan mo give up, hopefully it will not happen this school year. Magtinabangay ta. As what I've said, we are partners in educating your children. Okay, there we go. Now, if you have question about DPED 31, reserve it. I'll entertain during the question and answer. Let's move to DPED DPED Memorandum number 14. This was memorandized. What is DPED Order 14? This was issued just this year, March 26, 2021. It says, interim again, temporary, only for this pandemic year. Interim guidelines on the preparation, submission, and checking of school forms for the school year 2020, which is still again take effect for this school year, because this is not supersedes, this is not repeals nor rescinds with another DPED order. What may supersede ani niya? So maog gihapon ni. But what is your participation here? This is more on teachers' participation. But your participation, what is on this? Learner, attendance, conversion tool. What is this? Okay, I'll proceed to the very important, by the way, this one. Now, this is just an information to all that the Department of Education issues DPED Order 8. This is a stipulation in DPED Order 8, and they only included here DPED Order number 14. It says that once the student incurs absences of more than 20% of the prescribed number of school days. So meaning to say, the prescribed number of school days right now is 209. When your son, daughter will incur more than 42 days absences, your son, your daughter is considered dropped out. And when it is dropped out, retained automatic ang bata. So, hagbong din siya. Kay 20% man, except for a valid reason. What is valid? Due to health conditions, when you will provide us medical certificate. Dawatong ka na siya. Okay, let's proceed here. Kanin. There you go. This is not a concern. We are done discussing this with the teacher. Kanin. Now, the reason why Teacher Lucille and Miss Tien called you, or even are still calling you right now, to know the learning modality, because it must be stated in the report card. Una, the learning modality, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. This is the modified report card of the Department of Education, which we have to apply beginning the school year. Okay, last school year, naulahin nila dito order. Okay, this is it. Look at that. Now consider here and focus. To those who are choosing online modality, take note of that, online modality. It says here, converting persons in online classes as daily class attendance, meaning to say, when your son, daughter attends the online class, even in just for a very short minute or even few or 1 minute, basahan na niyo, ako na i-summarize, it would mean to say that your child is considered present. Diba, even before this issuance of the department order or DPED order, or even before the issuance of this DPED memorandum, we already practice this, that once the child has attended for a few minutes, even 1 second, as long as the teacher has already seen that the child attended, considered yun na present ang bata. Mula sa online. But di mo ma-shock. Yung sa complete sa attendance. Is this manufactured? Fabricated? No. We will never fabricate and manufacture. But we will always base on the actual attendance of the child, regardless whether it's until the end of the session or just for a few minutes. Klaro na ha? May pa-complete karon. Di man ko online. Saan pa-complete sa modular? Alita sa next slide. Okay, what is next slide there? There you go. So the next slide is lot 2, or learner, attendance, conversion tool. It says all distance learning modalities. Kung saan man siya? Niingon siya. Converting communication efforts with learners and or parents into class day attendance as programs in the weekly or it could be monthly. So siya pasabot niya. Naadiri, To illustrate, in a week schedule of 6 class days, none of 6 class days in it. This includes Saturday. But again, during Saturday, they don't need to have the online classes even Friday because that is for the web meeting, the e-critiquing, the e-feedbacking classes are only up to Thursday. But why is it Saturday is included? In order to meet the minimum requirements of the Department of Education school days. Naman required even in the dictated order, appeal tong Sabado. So, siya pasabot. Kanang gitawag og September 7 on the first day when you will come to school, who opted for modular, printed modular modality. At mo sa school, di man naman ta sa online. Igato ni sa school, the moment that you will get the modular copies, the printed module copies, the photocopy, 3 days na siya, equivalent to 3 days sa attendance sa imong anak. The following week, you will come back to school. Kuhaon nimo ang for that current week, ug i-submit po nimo katong last week answered modules. So answered na to siya. So that would mean another 3 days. To show it to you, mas dali ni tabulated, one contact effort for distribution would mean 3 days. And another contact effort for retrieval would mean another 3 days. Aron mo tayo, Madam, what if we're living very far and it will take us like minutes, 30 minutes, or even almost an hour to travel? And of course, when we have to pay for the fare, mahal kay motor, Madam, habal-habal, like 40, 60, 80. There is an answer to that. It's monthly. Take note that even last school year, you heard me saying leniency. Even the Department of Education always encourage all the teachers to be lenient. What is leniency? Leniency is to give consideration. Leniency is to give extension as to submission. And being lenient means being considerate. So, klaro na nun, yung na-depend. Kinahanglan na inyong i-consider without deduction. If you remember before, there were even parents who questioned, Madam, kung mali submit, pwede hara with deduction? Yes, because we will not practice in the pandemic year deductions or minus point system. But we always add to those who can submit on time. If you remember, during the unit test, those who can submit within the time frame, within the time allocated, they are given a positive reinforcement, meaning positive reward. Kung sa matong positive reward na ito niya, kitagaan siya og additional 10 points in every subject. But to those who did not submit on time, but beyond the time, humana, 2 days late, 3 days late, we never deducted points. But there is no positive reward. Mantagal man ang nimong reward, huwag man mo submit o ahead of time or on time. Pero wala siya deduction because that is leniency. So ang tubag ni ato, if you think that you cannot come weekly, can completely, pwede na siya alternate every after 2 weeks or even monthly. It's here or monthly. But we discourage all the parents to opt monthly and the students kay magtapon-og na ilang trabahoon. Take note, when they are secondary students, it would be so hard for them to force because they have their own decision. The moment that it is already compiled, kumpul na trabahoon, take note and always remember, based on your observation, your children will totally lose. Mawagtangan ginagana. So kasi mga problema in the end, kita, teachers, parents, being mutual partners, being sharers of same responsibility. Kita may mag-share niya. So, pwede paita. So, what we want is, it could be weekly if possible. Kung di gid madag weekly, kaya because of the distance of your place to our school, pwede ra siya mag-alternate mo every 2 weeks. So, when we'll have to compute the attendance, ang basihanan, kung ang bata nakasubmit numbers of submitted module 6, ng required 9. So, 6 days lagi na iyang kuan. Times na siya the number of days, regular days. Kay each learning module is equivalent to 6 days man siya. That's how we compute it. Klaro na siya nun? Okay, if you have question, you ask later. Now, as to the class schedule, Teacher Lucille will discuss it to you, only the secondary. This will only take a very short time, and after which I'll discuss about the ESC rules and regulations, the protocols, which are very important. So stand by. Well, I'll give you back to Teacher Lucille. Teacher Lucille, would you mind if I will control the slides?
Yes, Dan, please do.
Okay, thank you. I will now
Hello,
open.
Dan. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Charito T. Alabay, our school principal, for a very comprehensive yet very informative discussion on DepEd Order number 31 and DepEd Memorandum number 14, as well as the discussion on our different learning modality. Now, this time, allow me to present to you the program Apple for our junior high school from grade 7 to grade 10. So we have, can you go back them to the previous slide, grade 7A, Einstein, the morning session. There we go. Okay, so grade 7A Einstein. So grade 7, we have actually 2 sessions, morning and afternoon, until grade 10. So 7 to 10, we have 2 sessions, morning and afternoon. So for the morning session, we will start at exactly 8 o'clock in the morning, and we will end up at exactly 11:50 in the morning for the morning session. So what will happen? This is longer this time compared last year. So as you can see here for the number of minutes, it is now 50 minutes per subject, when before we had only 30 minutes. So every day you will be having 4 subjects. So this is the schedule of Monday and Wednesday. So on Monday you will be having these subjects, and on Wednesday you will be having another set of subjects. So again, in every day you will be spending 8 o'clock to 11:50 in the morning, those who are opting online classes. So in the afternoon, this is your schedule. Students who belong to the session. There we go. Grade 7B, 12:30 in the afternoon, and we will end at exactly 4:20 in the afternoon. So still the same, you will be having 4 subjects on your first day, and then with 15 minutes per subject. So we have here corresponding days on when you are going to have that particular subject with the corresponding teacher or subject teacher who is particularly handling the subject. So this schedule is applicable from grade 7 to grade 8 A and B, morning and afternoon session. And right now we are receiving requests coming from the parents to call that we could not easily change it. But of course, with a valid reason, we will find ways. But for now, please hang on. If there would be any changes made, we will notify you by then. So thank you so much. All right. So this will what happen every Monday and Tuesday, every time you will be having your free time. So Monday and Wednesday, those who are under morning session, in the afternoon, what will you do? So that would be for your home assisted, facilitated learning activities or independent learning activities that are recorded and graded. This is the best time for you to work it out. Do not wait for or to have your activities or assignments be compounded, because too much free time will lead to a product. Next, for the Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, still the same. So every time you have your vacant, so mag-vacant kag morning, so that would be your home assisted. Mag-vacant kag afternoon, that would be your home assisted or facilitated learning activities. So meaning to say, you don't have any reason to say to us, teacher, wala po our students. So I guess that will be all for the class schedule for junior high school department. Okay, we have here a very important note before we will discuss the EEC guidelines. For modular modality, please take note of this, modules, and at the same time, the retrieval of all answered modules and finished outputs. So by the second week of expectedly getting a new set of time will be submitting the first week of your module. So that's it. So I guess everything is clear now. Okay, so that will be all for the class schedule. The best time, I'll give you back to our school principal who will give you the orientation regarding our ESC guidelines.
Yes, thank you, Teacher Lucille. Now, just to add, no, for the Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule, I just want to emphasize that the students will be meeting with their teachers online, synchronous online, meaning interactive, live discussion every Monday and Wednesday. But during Tuesday and Thursday, that would mean they're home assisted, right, Teacher Lucille? So twice in a week. Am I right, Teacher Lucille? Teacher Lucille?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
because it was not sometimes
Yes, ma'am.
clear. You know, I
Hear
don't
me?
know with your internet connectivity, Teacher Lucille. It was not really clear. Now, for Tuesday and Thursday,
There's
that would
something
mean,
on
yes, that would mean another schedule. So meaning, ang Monday or Wednesday, same as before, but we only longer the time. We lengthen the time. Ipatasaan na mo ang oras. Because we want really for the secondary to have ample time. So same lang gihapon sa una nga Monday and Wednesday. That is for those who are scheduled for Monday, Wednesday session. Tuesday and Thursday, kung iya pong klase, Tuesday and Thursday. But you don't have to worry because Teacher Lucille has only presented to us a sample class program. So your class advisor, the class advisor of your children will be reaching you and they will give you the class program of your daughter, your son. Ay kabalaka because St. Louis Academy is well systematized and well organized. No one would be left behind. Okay? So tagaan din mo tanan ni Ana. Okay. Let's proceed to the ESC recipients orientation because this is for the secondary and this is very important. Look at that. What's our legal basis for this? There is Dictated Order number 20 series of 2017. So this was issued 2017. Klaro na po ha? 2017 pa man na. So this was issued 2017, but this dictated order is not superseded, nor rescinded, nor repealed to another dictated order. So meaning, until karon mo take effect gihapon kanisiya. So what does it say? Guidelines on the implementation of the educational service contracting or the ESC, including the teacher salary subsidy in the private institution. Now, pangutana. What is that ESC? Is that perpetual? Kung saan lang perpetual? Kada bang hangtod-hangtod ba na siya? The answer is yes. Because this is through Republic Act 8545 or what we call the e-GASPE. Kung saan na si e-GASPE? Expanded government assistance to students and teachers in private education. And that is the e-GASPE. And this was, look at that, look at this. Okay, there you go. Now, what is this ESC program? As you can see on your screen, this is for 4 years. So meaning, when they will start grade 7, when they are already a grantee of the ESC, they will have to bring this one up to 8, 9, 10. And because of the e-GASPE, it is extended until grades 11 and 12. Mo nakayahan nila. So when they are already an ESC subsidized students, hangtod pa pag grade 11 and 12 nila, they are already qualified for a voucher program. Karoon na po ha, kaya ang senior high school, you don't have to worry grade 10 because I will be discussing about this voucher program and also the career guidance within the school year before they will proceed to grade 11. Focus sa taani. So ang iyang pagka-grantee di ay, balik ko na po, gikan pa grade 7, pwedeng dalhon sa grade 11 and 12. They are termed as pre-qualified voucher recipient. Kaya ang katong senior high school, voucher man tawag ato. Kaning sa ato apong junior high school, ESC subsidy. So dito maglibog ha, ESC subsidy and this is an ESC grant. Okay, karon. Other people before, that were years ago, some of the students from the private claim that they are scholars. Scholar ko sa governance sa ESC, there is maintaining grade. Oy, take note. Conditions of the ESC grant. The grant remains in force for the next school year kung imong anak is promoted. Pero if the child incurs more than 20% unsa to, drop out siya, retain, di na siya pwede for the next school year. So mawagtang iyang pagka-grantee, mawa ang subsidy nga ihatag sa government. Is there maintaining grade? There is no maintaining grade. So meaning, this is not an academic scholarship, but this is a grant. What is a grant? What is a subsidy? It's an assistance, financial assistance. Klaro na no? So this is not a scholarship, an academic scholarship, or nor any other scholarship, but this is a financial assistance. Unya, ang other term niya sa assistance, subsidy. Klaro na siya. Okay, there you go. Now, pangutanan, because I mentioned it's perpetual and the coverage is 4 years. Is there a possibility that the child could be terminated? Nanalilihan. The grant is terminated if the grantee does any of the following. Magbuhat siya, usa ni anak. Letter A, drops out for non-health reasons in the middle of the school year. Katong grabe na siya absences because of the absenteeism. Naa siya problema ni anak. So, letter A, drop out siya. So the moment that the child will re-enroll, karon no, example, grade 7 siya, ni-stop siya because of laziness. Because the child does not take the pressure. Stop lang sa kuma. Yeah, the mama, the papa also supported because of the mental health. No, di naman di makaya sa bata. Then the child wants to re-enroll the next school year, pangutana. Mag-grantee pa siya o dili na? Ang tubag, dili na. Kaya ni-drop out man na siya o retained man siya, di man na siya pwede. So mawagtang dito yung pagka-grantee. So pagka-grade, next grade 7 niya, wala na siya, di na siya grantee. Karon, naingon siya, does not enroll the following school year. Okay, for example, the child feels very tired. Yet because of the motivation, because of the lifting words, encouraging words of the parents, nakapadayon ang bata. But the following school year, the child will not enroll. So, unsa man the following school year, 2022, 2023, stop ang bata. Dapat mo grade 8 siya. Karon kini undang man siya, ang 2023, the child decided to enroll back. Mamo, enroll ko balik sa St. Louis because I miss my classmates, though virtually. And face-to-face is already allowed. Takabalik ka 2023, allow na. So the child wanted to go back. Karon pangutana, is the child still ESC grantee? No, the answer is no. Ngano man, does not enroll the following school year. Kung muundang siya usa ka tuig, the following school year nga mo enroll siya, magbayad na kag 12,400. If we will increase the school fees and other fees, magbayad na ka sa current school fees of St. Louis Academy na wagtang inyong pagka-grant. Klaro na no, ang letter A o B, klaro ka ito. Sa dropout siya, pwede as absenteeism or pwedeng, wala siya, matunga-tunga. Okay, dropout. Ang letter B does not enroll the following school year because of laziness. Di undang sa siya school year. Ibalik, 2023, di na siya mahinong grantee. Letter C, fails to be promoted to the next grade level. So na-retain ang bata because of laziness. Kasi ng laziness, the child did not submit the output performance task. Gisa kung saon, di gid ma-submit until the parents give up. So pag give up na, nawagtang ng tanan. So fails to be promoted to the next grade year. So retained as grade 7. The following year, the child promised to the parent, Pa, paspilahan lagi ko because of the next school year. I have to make sure that I'll pass. So grantee pa ba ang bata? No, the child is not a grantee anymore. That's letter C. We'll proceed to letter D. Is suspended for more than 2 weeks, dismissed, and what is worse, expelled by the school for disciplinary reasons. But this is not possible right now. Why? Especially if the child opts modular modality or printed. Kung saan mo po disciplinary reason, printed man, what may face-to-face. Before, this is very common. Or even, last time ha, online, when they're using the social media posting of offensive languages or offensive videos, you know what's offensive is? Katong mga makasasala na mga words. That is part of. So when they are also given that, so they are also terminated as a grantee. So mawaha iyang grant, the subsidy. So that's why we should have always to guide our children as to what? Using of the social media, posting of something through the social media. So meaning as parents, we should not use our hectic or busy schedule na may munta. Ginagi ko ka-check, madam. Uy, ginagi ko ka-check picture. Uy, busy tayo. Take note that we are all busy. We work very hard for our children. But what's the sense of working very hard if the reason of why we work hard is already moving? Diba? Kung guba na siya, unsa pa may atua. So we should have also to spare time to check from time to time and to monitor. Because in constant communication, there will always be a success. Kana bitaw sa atong relationship, kung mawagtang na siya ang constant communication, there is a big possibility that we will be very far from each other. Karera na sa atong mga anak, wala na tayo constant communication whenever they to ask, kumusta ang pag-eskwela, Inday, Dudong? How's your study there? Are there challenges? Are there problems that you encounter? Nabay mga difficulties, hardships? We need to reach them out. We need to listen to them. And once sometimes they would say, Ma, I'm sorry, I failed to submit this. Ayaw, ugratrate. You should not use our power being naggers. Ayaw ba naman ginikanan kalabanan? Listen to them, weigh things, gauge the things, then decide for best solution. Muna isakto. Kay kalabanan ang nila masuspended because they are also bombarded with all the problems at home. I'm sorry to use this, but there were many students who came to the office and when I asked, they cried because of that. So I am hoping that we would be real partners. We would have to think always of our shared responsibility that even if they are secondary students, they still need your guidance. They still need your ears and your eyes that you are always there listening to them and watching them as they will have to continue combating this pandemic here. Tinuod na, di galing i-combat na ini, di galing. Kung di lalim sa itong part paningkamot, panabaho, ningon po mga bata, di po lalim sa mong part pag-submit ni ining mga output and performance task. When we are very far from each other. Why from each other? Because when face-to-face was allowed, they can collaborate. They can talk their friends, kabangi ko ba? But this time, sometimes they are alone by themselves, answering and waiting for someone to understand them. Kano siya, malimot, magutamang ginikanan. Ako na, you're already responsible, di ka kabuan, grabe naman sa ka. No, they need us. They need our guidance. Sumuon lang ang bata kasi masuspended, ma-expelled, ma-fail siya, ma-retain siya because of that. So balik ka sa letter E. Letter E says transfers to non-ESC participating junior high school example. For the information of all, as to what was questioned this morning, namatay somebody who asked for this question. That what if, Madam, we're planning to move out, going to the city maybe 2 months from now? Can we still continue sending our children to your institution? I said yes. In fact, we have students right now who are in other countries, like in Japan or other like Middle East, but they are all Filipino citizens because we cannot accept if they are non-Filipino citizens because it's online. So what na siya problema? Karon miingon, transfer to non-ESC participating school, for example, those who are from the city. And after all, they will realize that by the next school year, they will have to transfer their children to public schools. Unsa may mahitabo? Non-ESC participating school, like deep ed education sector, o sa mga deep ed ng public school, mawa, ginayang pagkagranti. So the moment that you will have to go back when the child is already grade 9, grade 8, the transfer nimo, gina siya may grante, magbayad gid ka the exact amount that the school, the private school is asking. So klaro na na ha. So if you want to transfer, may ka, madam, hindi na siya transferable. You know, it's transferable. Pero make sure that when you transfer your child to other school, kaya may problema anak. Whether you transfer as long as it's for the good of the child, hindi mag-antas, wag gini problema. When you will transfer your child to other school, make sure that receiving school, okay, originating school man ang tawag na to, kanang school nga mudawat ni receiving man na is an ESC participating junior high school. Kaya kung dili siya ESC school, subsidized school, di na mahintabo nga mahimo man na siya. Okay, there you go, another. Transfer to another ESC participating junior high schools are allowed. Ako na nag-discuss, in cases when the applicable subsidy amount of the releasing school is different from the accepting school, maubos po na yung grant, ano man, so well, ang dip ka, di na pautang. Di na mo allowed. Ano naman na 9,000, whatever is the amount, it must be the amount. And I'll discuss it later. Now, grantees who drops out due to prolonged illness, accident, force majeure, or death of parents or guardian may be reinstated. So, kasi pasabot niya ako na lang siya i-summarize. As what I've said, when the reason is valid, naundang ang bata, example, for the school year, naundang because of the advice of the doctor that the child must bed rest because of the disease. Kung ang bata mubalik the next school year, mubalik siya grade 7, kaya siya mahuman karon, the child could still apply. But you'll be needing relevant documents that you need to submit to us for verification purposes and for the PEAC verification purposes. Klaro na. Or first majeure, meaning to si mga natural calamities na wag gid matake sa bata. Even last school year, when the pandemic started, katong those who stopped because they were not able to handle it well, karon nga nibalik sila, ma-reinstate din sila. They could be reinstated. Nga na ma-reinstate man sila, first majeure man na, kay pandemic man. Death of their parents, simbako, namatay. Yeah, because of that, the child does not want to study anymore. Total loss of interest. Nawagtang siya. So, because of that loss of interest, unsa nihintabo? Niundang ang bata. But the next school year, the child is already motivated and inspired and encouraged to study back because the child has already moved on. So, unsay pasabot, pwede siya ka makabalik, nga mahimo gyud po siyang warranty. Depending on the valid reason. How valid is the reason? Okay? There you go. For the selecting grantees, you know already that we also selected from the public schools and most also from the private schools are products. So I don't need to elaborate that one. And also this is it, the amount of grant. Take a look at that. Now, how much is the subsidy? So we are not hiding anything, nor we don't want to hide anything. Now, for grade 7, for schools in NCR, but we don't belong to NCR, nor we don't belong to highly urbanized cities. Unsa man din mga hawks or highly urbanized cities? We have Mandawi City, we have Lapu-Lapu City, and we have Cebu City. But Karkar City, Mugo City are not classified as highly urbanized. So asa man ta mabilong? All other locations. We belong to the Anbantayan, so meaning we belong to all other. What is there? It's 9,000 pesos. So the total amount of subsidy that each student is receiving from the government, hindi ka na po ha, nor from PEAC, this is a Department of Education program, which is a 4-year coverage extended to senior high school, but senior high school voucher program is of the same amount. Na siya amount na 18,000, 22,000, 14,500, 16, depending on the type of the voucher. Pero we will discuss it later. That is not our concern this time. I am just giving you an idea. Heads up. So again, for all other locations like us, the Anbantayan, they are receiving, each of them is receiving 9,000. The grade 8, 9, and 10, 9,000 because this was 2017. So if you will have to count it, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, dugay na kayo. So all of them, grade 7, 8, grade 9, grade 10, are all receiving equal subsidy financial assistance amounting to 9,000. So karon, ingon mo, na-feel ba na nyo ang 9,000? Are you enjoying the 9,000? Let me ask somebody, Sir Binghay, are you still with us? Sir
Yes,
Binghay,
yes, ma'am, I'm
now,
here.
are you enjoying the 9,000 subsidy coming from the government?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, thank you, Sir Binghay, for acknowledging that. It's from the Department of Education. Now, by the way, Sir Binghay is also from the city. Beginning last year, he enrolled, he has one daughter, and this time his two daughters are already with us from the city. Take note of that. Yet we deliver still quality instruction. So everybody who is a grantee of the ESC subsidy is enjoying 9,000. Kung why na deduction you have to react because it is the right. Because we're not hiding here, no? This is the reality. So what happened is because of that 9,000 subsidy, you are enjoying a very minimal school fees. In fact, others are only paying 290, 240. Those who are academic achievers with up high discount, you are only paying 100 plus. Now question is, 100 plus per month, you find a school in the city that offers that with a very minimal amount, yet quality is not compromised. Pangita mo, muluwa, di mo na. This is not to brag, but I am just very, very, very proud to tell you because this is the pride of St. Louis Academy that we are offering quality education. We give quality instruction. We aid quality instruction. We produce 21st century learners, yet the school fees are very low. And congratulations to all of us and to you as well because you are already an official family member of St. Louis Academy. And there is only one thing that I could assure to you, that you would not have regret because we will always give our best. We will not just try, but our teachers will always do their best. Okay, that's the grand thing. So next is the important reminder. As you can see there, we are still on the pandemic year. So we are always encouraging and reminding all the parents when they will come to school to always wear the face mask. Mag-mask kita tanan. Or otherwise, you would not be allowed to get in even if your transaction is very important. Now again, it's there as well. You also have to wash your hands because when we wash our hands, we will also contain the COVID-19 infection. So atong pugnan, we have to stop it from spreading and infecting other people. Another thing is we always have to observe social distancing. These are all very common minimum requirements and health protocols that we just want to remind you. And another thing as well, children are not allowed to come to school. Moreover, they are not allowed to get, moreover, they are not allowed to get the printed modules on your behalf. Kung sa'yo mahintabo sa uban, based on last year, there were students who came to school and they wanted to claim it. And then I told through Teacher Lucille and Miss Tin and the rest of the personnel, do not give because they are not allowed to come to school. Moreover, parents are not allowed also to bring your children or your child when you come to school for an official transaction. Kamu lagi ito. Kaya atong ibantayan ang pag-spread sa COVID-19. Simba ko, ma-infected sila, you know, so that it will not be easy. Virus is true. COVID-19 is true. That's the reality. Tinuod na, di na inyong binuang, tinuod na siya. Now another, parents who are having more than 37 degrees Celsius body temperature or guardians or anybody is not allowed to get inside the school premises. This is to protect everybody because we are still in the pandemic year and we are still combating. We continue to combat these all variants na pinakaning Delta o Lambda. We were thinking that a limited face-to-face would be already allowed for the school year, but because of the Delta and Lambda, it was again all cancelled. But it's all right, as what he said, we will never all give up. We will have to help each other. We would all be best partners in achieving what you want to be for your children or for your child in the future. Diba? So, time check is 3:43, so the time is, we target 4 o'clock, but maybe we could extend for the question and answer for some concerns or issues that we need to tackle. So this time, I'll give you back to Teacher Lucille, the moderator. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charita Uti Alagbay, for presenting the guidelines. Now this time to shoot questions, to give clarifications to whatever you have there so that it will be catered. So you can choose our chat box, or you may also use your microphone. If you wanted to be recognized, you can turn your microphone on. But if you don't, would you? So you
Teacher Lucille,
so
please
you
check
can
the
also
chat box.
use that.
I think there are already messages in the chat box, Teacher Lucille. Can you check?
Okay then. Okay then. Okay, we have one from Charles Hayden Pantaleon. Sure, ask lang po kung naa by GC ang grade 7.
You may answer that, Teacher Lucille. If it's within your capacity, please go ahead.
Okay, for GC, okay then. Charles Hayden, for the GC, that would be it will be given by class advisor. Your teacher will you out during the meeting with your advisor. She will initiate, or he will initiate your email account open. You can start creating your email account so that you can use it, or even your Facebook account if you have. Okay, so next one. Okay, we're still waiting for more pre-wisdom as of this time, none so far. So pwede ra in Bisaya ang pangutana, wala di problema. So if wala questions, you can shoot us comments, suggestions for betterment. Okay, we have one down from Sharo Monterde. Sure, for Val Aurel Pipito, I chose blended. Can he join online discussions?
Yes, ma'am, very much. Why not? So we'll just have to finalize. What is important, ma'am, is you have already checked your internet connectivity. Then you will have the stable, so please reach out to Lucille because she'll be the one to arrange things so that Val would be included in the class list as to for the online modality. Thank you.
All right.
Now, while waiting for the questions, Teacher Lucille, allow me to express our thanks.
Any other questions?
You're welcome, ma'am. So, daghang salamat sa tanamang ginikanan because as what I mentioned, no, for this pandemic year, it is not easy on our part to promote St. Louis Academy and also to have students who will be entrusting their children to us because we know so well the financial crisis that we are facing, that everybody is facing. But despite the fact, despite the world crisis, we still increase our population because you trust St. Louis Academy, because of your confidence to continue entrusting your children to us. And that is really a gratitude to everyone. And I would like also to give the credit to all the teachers, the faculty members, the non-administrative personnel, the non-academic personnel of that passion and the commitment that we have always rendered to everybody. Thank you from my heart. Thank you, everyone. Teacher Lucille, go ahead.
Okay. We have one down from Igomi Otaki, one of our students. When ang face-to-face chair?
Dama, as what I've said, no, when it would be permitted from the office of the president, then that would be, but we still don't know. Could be next school year, could be 2023-24, could also be 2024-25. So let us just all be ready for whatever would be the transition after this pandemic year. But one thing for sure, whatever would be the transition, whatever would be the implementation, St. Louis Academy will always be ready before we will have to face the real current situation. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, parents? New parents? New member of the family? If you have
Teacher Lucille, while waiting for the questions because others have already been waiting, please ask them for a documentation, Teacher Lucille. Teacher Lucille, please ask for a documentation, like asking them. I will not stop presenting, okay? For documentation, Teacher Lucille, please ask them.
Yes, ma'am, please do. Okay.
Okay.
Requesting this time to
okay, parents, you may turn on your video.
Teacher Christian Ray is taking a picture. So please inform the parents so that they can also smile. This is also very
okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, parents, please smile. 4, 3, 2. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, done.
Okay, now I think there is another message, Teacher Lucille. Please check the chat box if we did not
we have
miss.
We have them from Ma'am Carmela Sanoy. So
yes, my sister. She's my ate. Okay. Welcome to our family. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. If they don't have question, teacher, I think that's all.
No
so again, thank you. God bless everyone. Keep safe always. I will allow off my cam.
Okay. Well, since no more questions being raised, this is the best time to adjourn the meeting. Meeting is adjourned at exactly 3:51 in the afternoon. God bless everyone and always keep safe.
Bye, Chair.
From Leo Conde, thank you so much, Ma'am Charito, Teacher Lucille, all the faculty, teachers, for all your sacrifices, help, and guidance for us, parents, and our children. God bless you all. We do the same, sir, and thanks as well for entrusting your kids to us. I am requesting all the faculty members to please stay tuned because after this we will be having a short huddle with our principal.